Hellos.
So, I want to talk about being a writer and what it means to me. I started writing at a very young age. I would say
Um,
about like
Maybe like fifth grade, fourth grade, I started writing.
writing. I started writing like short stories and stuff like that, and I found a lot of joy in that. Generally because I was a very like imaginative kid, if that's even a word. Like I had a big imagination, and writing was like a way for me to put that imagination to paper, like make it real. It made every delusional delusions that I had like feel real, and it made me feel real. That's why I like to write. I like to write because it makes me feel like a real person. And there's days where I don't really feel real. I feel like like not a facade. Like I don't feel fake, and I just don't feel like I exist. Um, so writing kind of just takes me, kind of grounds me in a way. Right now I'm writing a story, and I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. It's kind of I really want to finish it, but I don't think I am, to be honest, because every time I do like a big project like that, like writing a book, I always get lazy, and that's probably like my worst trait ever, because I don't like it when I'm like lazy, especially when it comes to things that I'm really passionate about, when like with writing and stuff. I also write poetry. I love poetry so much. I think poetry is the art of language. You know what I'm saying? I'm so obsessed with words. I think that poetry is like, it's so lovely. Like, even if you're not good at like rhyming and stuff like that, you can still write a poem. Like, poems are, there's no rules to it. I mean, people might say there are rules to it, but I don't really think there's rules to poetry. I think as long as you're like putting yourself out there, you're definitely a poet. um I had to do this project thing for school where it was like I had to explain to like the class on what being a writer is. It was like part of my speech thing. And I think that being a writer is the art of being vulnerable. It's literally the same thing as being a painter, because you are putting all the waves of emotions on a paper, like, something physical, just like art, like just like painting. You're allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to kind of create an illusion for the audience. Even if the audience is just yourself, you're still creating that illusion. And I think that writing about your emotions is really hard, because then you have to face your reality even more, if that makes sense. And I think writers are like pretty brave if you're writing about like super traumatic things, like, your trauma and stuff like that. You're a pretty brave person in my book. I'm a pretty brave I'm a pretty brave person too, I guess. I mean, yeah. I love writing. I think everyone should be a writer. I think everyone is a writer, you know. Um, Writing, like, there's writing everywhere. Like, there's writing in music. That's what makes music so important, because they're the writing. It's not the beat. It's the chanting. It's the words that the artist chooses to use. Not every single artist can relate to what I just said there, but a lot of people that are like big in music, like Frank Ocean, Daniel Caesar, all these people, they're so powerful with their music, because they're it's because of their words. You know what I mean? It's because their words are so relatable. They use their words in a very fluent way. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like, they just know how to use their words. They know how to write, and I think that's what makes writing so beautiful. Like, when you know how to write, you're letting other people, when you know how to write and you like post your writing and stuff like that, it's like a beautiful thing. Like, you're letting other people kind of relate to you in a sense. I don't know. Like, you're letting people know this other version of you. You know? I think that's like awesome. I think you're awesome too, whoever's watching this. So yeah, being a writer is being a painter. It's being vulnerable. It's being real. It's letting yourself express. It's letting yourself breathe. And that's the beauty of being a writer. Bye. Oh, that was so good. Bye. Okay, so this is my writings that I wrote. This is no longer my reality, but I want to read this to you guys, okay? I don't want to be a booger, but that's how I felt. A booger. Everyone has them, but no one truly wants them. They're gross, and everyone seems to be awkward about them. Everyone is always awkward about me. I know that because every time I spoke, people wouldn't listen to me. I mean, they heard me, and I know that because they would look at me and turn away or just agree with what I have to say. But listening was out the question. So I kept my mouth shut, hoping that maybe that would make them more comfortable with me. But I kept my ears open, hoping one day someone would care about me being comfortable. I watched as my friends laughed and shared their stories, their voices filling the air with joy. Lord knows how bad I wanted to join. How bad I wanted to tell them about my stories, too, and hear them laugh at my jokes. To be part of their world instead of feeling like an outsider, peeking through a glass window like a creep. Every time I tried to speak, it felt like I was trying to cast a magic trick, because it would either work or not. And a lot of times I was left with the knowledge that I was a bad musician. I would often wonder why they would invite me to places and call me their friend, but I got my answer pretty fast. As the days passed, I found myself retreating further into the background, feeling more like an afterthought because I was. I'd become a stalker, observing the way they all connected, sharing their lives effortlessly, while I was stuck in my own silent bubble. The more I faded, the more I feared that I would become invisible entirely. My fears came true because now they walked past me, and that's how I became a loner. I still had one friend. She didn't go to my school or any schools in my country. Something I wish I could do. She was she was amazing and had a smile full of joy and always found a way to make me laugh and make me feel more like me in every way possible. That was it. I never really finished that, but it's a really good writing of mine. Okay, bye.